What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, listen, I want to talk to you today about this gentleman right here. This is 58-year-old Glenn Vaders of Fort Myers, Florida. Shout out Fort Myers, Florida. And this guy right here is under arrest for the following things: kidnap and false imprisonment of a person, aggravated assault with a weapon, drug possession of a controlled substance, and drug equipment possession. All of this came to be because a woman living with Mr. Vaders was seen coming out the house screaming and covered in blood. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play this video, let you guys see it. We're going to come back and talk about it. Domestic violence is real. Domestic violence is dangerous. And domestic violence is one of those things that can always be avoided by both parties, or at least one. Take a look.
Fort Myers neighbors came to the rescue after a woman covered in blood screamed for help and then collapsed in front of a house. Now we're learning more about the man accused of hurting her. NBC2's Madison Adams is live and local tonight along Rogers Street in Fort Myers, where police have been investigating all day long.
Several neighbors tell me the man who was arrested today has lived in this home for years, but they don't know him well because he never comes outside. And they were shocked to see what unfolded earlier today.
The woman came out of the house screaming, "Help me, help me." And then she landed in a neighbor's yard. From what I heard, she was bloodied up.
Around 10 o'clock this morning, people who live on Rogers Street say a middle-aged woman ran out of this house towards their homes, screaming for help, and then collapsed face first on the ground.
She just went down on the driveway and asking for help and saying that she needed help, and the woman across the street from me helped her.
Neighbors say she ended up being taken away in an ambulance, and shortly after,
there was a gentleman out there that was in handcuffs.
The Fort Myers Police Department says the person they arrested is Glenn Vader and that he lives here too. He's accused of using a deadly weapon, falsely imprisoning the woman, and having illegal drugs.
Just thank God it wasn't worse than it was.
The victim told police the weapon Vader hurt her with was a gun. However, she wasn't shot.
I had my window open. I didn't hear anything. So I'm very surprised.
Throughout the day, we saw several detectives searching the home, rummaging through boxes, searching the backyard, looking through neighbors' trash cans, and even investigating on Vader's roof. But after searching for hours, they say they didn't find a gun.
The old cliche, it never happens in your neighborhood, but obviously it can.
Guys, that's the story of Mr. Glenn Vaders. And it's tragic. Not only what he did to this woman, which I'll get to in a second, but the whole thing of how his life can spiral out of control. Now, you see the picture of this man up here, right? That's his mugshot, 58 years old, so he should still be working. This guy had a good job at one point. This is how he used to look. And I want a lot of these young people out here to think this guy was a senior ecologist at his job. I looked up his LinkedIn, or whatever it is, whatever it's called, where for professionals or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, this guy had a good job. Look how clean cut he was. Looked like a regular old person. To go to that, I'm looking at him. I'm like, yo, they said he never comes outside. They knew a guy was there, but he never come outside. He was dealing with some type of internal issue. And guys, we know, you guys can, the guys out there can know what I'm talking about. He probably lost his job, said he had a bunch of drugs, going through some type of depression. I don't know if that woman was his wife or that woman was his girlfriend. But a lot of times, guys wallow in their own misery. And a lot of times women see that and want to get out. Or they might be, trying to be the voice of reason. Or they might just be like, hey, you know what? He taking drugs. He going down. Or I'm taking drugs with him. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to live like this. And they want to get out of that. They become part of the misery of the man. And he don't want to allow that. For some reason, they said he imprisoned her. He wouldn't let her leave. Then, final blow, he smacked her with the gun. But said she wasn't shot. Said the weapon that he hit her with was a gun. Bust her wide open. She got the hell out of there. Luckily, she escaped. You never know, and you can never discount the desperation of somebody, especially when they have attachment issues to somebody to wallow in their misery. This is messed up. Look at this transition from this to that. Wow. Wow, and that can happen to everybody. That's why I can't stand drugs, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody out there will sell this and make this transformation from somebody from this to this by selling them drugs, knowing that it's going to tear them up, and then say, well, I'm not the one that's making them take it, so I don't carry no guilt, but they're the ones getting it from you. That's why I have a big issue with that. If you're the one supplying a product that destroys lives and destroys people, you have to accept some of the blame, whether you made it or not. If you distribute it, the same shit falls on you. You might as well have made it because you made it accessible for him to get it or her to get it. There are countless people out here that are suffering, watching their parents, or their just a loved one, period, destroy themselves with drugs, alcohol, and other types of addictions. And it's a horrifying thing to think about. A child watching their mother overdose on drugs or do something crazy for drugs has no control over that. A lot of wives don't have control over their husbands when they're spiraling out of control. And when they try to do something about it, sometimes stuff like this is the outcome. I knew something was up when I seen his house and I seen his job. I'm like, there's no way his house looked like crap. That shows, like I told you, when you see somebody with a house that's usually dirty and disorganized, there's some type of trauma that's going on inside them, or confusion or depression. And I think that was the case with this. Damn, this guy went all the way out, didn't he? Smacked her with the gun. She ran right out the house, bleeding. And that's an embarrassing thing. And if she goes back over there, she looks really bad if she do go back to him, which I hope she didn't, because this happened about 10 days ago. I just seen it today, but it was a good story worth talking about. There are real problems out here, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, I covered them stories on here. Some of them are morbid, some of them are just, you know, messed up. But either way, I mean, the whole situation that's out here needs addressing. These problems need to be addressed. They need to be talked about more too. That's why I invite you, the viewer, to go into the comment section. Say your thoughts. I don't care what color you are or how you stand on it. An opinion is an opinion. But we have to develop a dialogue when we talk about stories like this. I don't know what made him do that, but you can see a transition from a positive life to a negative outcome. And the thing that's funny is, everybody that's out there, everybody that's out here looking at this video, there are some people that say that would never happen to me. I never thought I would go to prison for bank robbery, but I did it. And I was of sound mind. I never thought, once you get into a mode where you feel all hope is lost and the world is beating you up and you don't feel as though you deserve it, a lot of times you resort to desperate measures and you do things that, you know, if you had positive people around you that could talk to you, you wouldn't. This guy should have sought some type of therapy, and he should have sought some type of, you know, advice from somebody. But a lot of times people are prideful and they become introverted and they stay in the house, and the depression and, you know, the misery gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then they explode on who? The person that's closest to them, that sees their own self-destruction. And it's a damn shame. I hope this woman doesn't go back to him. And this is a problem that a lot of people out there are going through right now. Hell, some of you might be going through that. Listen, you have to preserve your own sanity, even if it's at the cost of getting away from somebody you love, whether it's a child, or, you know, a loved one. You have to protect yourself. We all came here alone in this world by ourselves, and we will go to the grave by ourselves. So being selfish in a positive way is not negative. It's natural. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.